Hello there. So, a wise YouTuber once said many years ago that story is the key ingredient into making a game amazing. Okay, well, actually, it wasn't a wise YouTuber and it wasn't many years ago. It was actually Retro Claimer and only last week. So basically, Kieran made a video, different kind of video, really good video. Go watch it. He did a lot of editing, a lot of photos put into it. Really cool. Um, he made a video about what his top five, what he thought were his top five important factors into making a game great, and then the top factor what makes a game amazing. I'll put a link to his channel, Retro Claimer, reclaiming his retro past, in the description below. Yeah, we got one in early, and please go check out his channel. He definitely deserves more subscribers than he's got. Okay, so because he posted this video, he then inspired me to make my own little video. Kind of response, kind of not a response, but I was reading his comments, right? That he had not left on the video by other YouTubers. Some of them agreed with him that story, which is the number one factor, is essential for making a game great. And other people then thought, well, actually, I don't really care about the story. I'm just there for the gameplay, things, mechanics, things like that, which is all well and good, you know. But for me personally, I am there for each and every factor, but story in particular does does make a game fantastic for me, and I'll tell you why. It's because you kind of get that connection with the game. It's not just a simple like bubble bobble. You put it on, you catch enemies in bubbles, you burst them. Of course, not every game requires a story there. If it's just good, the gameplay wise, levels like that, quick go on something, time pilot, things like that, you don't need it. But so I had an idea. What I thought I'd do with you guys today is share with you five of my favorite story-driven games. Now, not necessarily my top five, although I imagine some of these picks would appear in my top five, but some of my favorites. So basically, we're going to get the first and obvious one out of the way with, and that is Final Fantasy VII. Now, yeah, this game gets talked about a lot. It's often brought up, so maybe some people get fed up about hearing about it, but there is a reason it keeps on getting brought up, and that's because of how good it was. Now, I'm not going to talk about the graphics or any of the other mechanics involved, but the story itself. Um, you can have a great RPG, but RPGs really focus on the story and relies on it to make, give that player a great experience, in my personal opinion. So you have the evil company Shinra absorbing all the life energy of the planet. Then you have a mercenary called Cloud who joins a group called Avalanche, kind of rebels who try and destroy Shinra to save the world, basically. And it goes on from there. Sephiroth comes into it. Meteors come into the Earth being summoned. Genova, weapons of mass destruction. It goes crazy, and all the fancy characters you got in there, the creatures, so good. Like I said, I'm not going to go much talking about a lot about the world, things like that. But this is the first video game I ever played where I actually connected to the story. And I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I think everyone probably knows what I'm going to say now. That scene at the end of disc one is the first scene in a video game to actually make me feel emotional. I think I played it when I was in comprehensive school. I might have been like 12, 13 odd, somewhere around there. Yeah, I think it was like year 7, maybe 11, I don't know. I can't remember, it's a long time ago. Um, but up until then, like I've played on my NES, my Mega Drive, like Streets of Rage, just beating people up. But like this was like kind of the first story that I had to follow along with, and it was told so well and executed so brilliantly that yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And yeah, it made me feel something. I was like, oh my gosh. And when I finally finished that game, I was like, epic. That is going down as one of the best of all time, in my opinion. And all these years later, it still is. Okay, so now that Final Fantasy VII is done and dusted with, let's move on to my next pick, which is Batman Arkham City. Okay, sorry, Batman Arkham City, but we can but dream, right? Now, really impressed by the Arkham Asylum games, enjoyed them all, and it was the sequel in particular, Arkham City, that really got my attention because certain things happened in this game. Again, I don't want to spoil it in case anyone's watching and they haven't played it, but things happened here that I didn't think you'd actually see happen. Like, it could be the fate of some characters, things like that. And there was a lot of twists and turns. Of course, the mayor's now given ownership of some of Arkham City to like criminals, and Batman's watching over them all. Joker's been poisoned, and it's about getting a cure for him. And the ending, there was such a twist that I did not see coming. And I remember saying to Stephen Works, Steve, you got to finish it. You got to finish it so we can discuss it. Um, it was just bloody brilliant. I didn't see it coming. For a video game to make me feel like that, I thought that is pretty damn awesome. You know, I'm not going to go on about the gameplay and stuff, but like I said, the story wise there, if you haven't played it, you need to. So then I came into work one day and Steve, Retroed Steve, had left a sticky note on my desk saying what happened. I was like, yes, he's watched it. Now we can, he's completed it. Now we can talk about it. But yeah, Batman Arkham City, the twists in the story is why that has made this video today. Okay, so this next one was this game is Life is Strange 2, and this pulled at my heartstrings more than any other game has done, perhaps ever or in a long time. So if you don't know Life is Strange, it's kind of like a point and click adventure game kind of thing. You play as a brother called Sean who's looking after his younger brother Daniel, who's developed superpowers. Something tragic happens at the beginning, which then propels these two brothers on a journey to try and get to Mexico so they'd be safe. But it's the things they go through along the way, the relationship that builds between them, the characters they meet. They have such a rough time, and I don't know. I was really connected. I haven't got a brother or a sister, right? But I really connected to this. I actually, for the one of, well, not the first time. A few times this happened, but I actually cared about the characters I was playing in the game. And what this game does is give you decisions to make, and whatever decision you make has an impact then on the rest of the game. How certain characters will turn out, their fates. You might make a mistake. You might make one choice, ends up killing somebody, and I was like, oh no! And from playing previous games like this, I knew there was multiple endings, and because I enjoyed the game so much, it was acted brilliantly, story told so well, seriously, uh, that I really wanted my characters to have a happy ending. Because I've read all the endings now, and they're not all happy. But I am happy to say the ending I got, yeah, I'm pleased with. But honestly, story wise, uh, Life is Strange 2 will always be in my top five, I'd say, for that. Unless anything can top it. It's really, really good. So if you haven't played that, definitely recommend you go and try that one out. Our next game is no secret at all, but it is The Secret of Monkey Island. And for me, this is one of my favourite games of all time. I just love it. And I'm not going to go into all the reasons why, but we're going to talk about the story. It's recently hit its 30th anniversary. Um, that's amazing, that is. And I've pre-ordered the 30th anniversary edition of Monkey Island, so I cannot wait for that to come. It's going to be epic. But yeah, the reason why this has made my list today is the story, of course. You have wannabe pirate Guybrush Threepwood turning up on Melee Island to chase his dream. And of course, he has to undertake the pirate trials. Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate. Um, this is the thievery. Oh my gosh, why can't beating the sword master? Things like that. And it just goes on. He falls in love with the governor of Melee Island, Elaine Marley. But then there's this other guy, the zombie ghost pirate LeChuck, who also falls in love with Elaine Marley. And then the story goes on. Well, Guybrush is still trying to become a pirate and impressing all, the pirate judges to grant him that wish. Elaine gets kidnapped by LeChuck. He's got to then go to the legendary Monkey Island to try and rescue her. We still don't know what the secret of Monkey Island is after all these years. And it's just such a well told story, and the characters definitely make this story as well. Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, they did a special edition release several years ago now, and that was really good. But I prefer the original, obviously. Ah, but man, as far as stories go, Monkey Island will always be one of the most unique. Of course, you had about three sequels following on from this. The true original games, though, are Secret Monkey Island and The Chuck's Revenge, because Ron Gilbert made them. He didn't have so much of a say then as it went on. So, yeah. And then also there's a Tales of Monkey Island as well, after those three sequels. But yeah, Monkey Island definitely making this list. It's just brilliant. Just take my word on it. Go play it if you have not played it. And for my last pick is What Remains of Edith Finch. Sounds a bit gruesome, doesn't it? So this was a game I had maybe off PlayStation Plus. I can't really remember. Or did I buy it? However, this is a story-driven game, and it is a really good one. So basically, you play the role of Edith, going back to like her family's home, and along the way, you learn the secrets of the curse placed upon his family, or maybe not placed upon his family, but it's like all the family members mainly die off except for one. One always survives to carry on the family, but then as time goes on again, that generation, all the characters and all the family members end up being killed off in some way, some accident, something happens, and it goes on and on. But the game tells you, like, explains the story of what happened. Um, like I said, you explore the family home. You like come across an area where something happened, and then the way it tells the story is brilliant. Like, really, really good. There was one as well where you play as a character, and he used to like work in this fish thing, and this the motion controls. It's got you like chopping fish and stuff, and the way then that scene kind of what's what I'm looking for? Kind of go well merges into what happens to him is absolutely brilliant. And I was like looking at the screen like, wow, that is very well done. Then yeah, something happens at the end of that game, but I'm not going to spoil it for you because I definitely think you should go and play that. So yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch? If you like a kind of exploration game, the way the story's told, that has got to be one of the highly recommended games I'll ever recommend. Highly recommended games I'll ever recommend. That, Life is Strange 2, and of course, please play the others I've mentioned. Final Fantasy 7. Everyone's going to play that in their lifetime, surely. Please. Batman Arkham City and Secret Monkey Island. All great games. Thanks once again to Retro Reclaimer for making a video inspiring this one. And as ever, guys, let me know in the comments below twice what you thought about my picks. Do you agree with me with the stories in those games? Have you played them? Let me know in the comments as well your favorite story-driven games. Do it VR if you like. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, and that is all from me. So as ever, boom, more story time with Metropolis soon.